Welcome to Aspire. We're so grateful you chose to be with us. I was just reading, sitting here listening to Gibran teach me through his book, The Prophet. I'm just about to offer the same teaching in just a few moments to my congregation here at Unity of Escondido. Listen to this. You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. Those are a powerful set of teachings. When do we give? How do we give? When is it appropriate for us to give? And is there ever a time we shouldn't? We're going to be dealing with this subject in this program, Aspire. And then in our second half, we're going to have some dialogue, some question and answer with myself and my congregation. And I guarantee you, with a subject like this one on giving, there will be some lively discussion. Won't you stay tuned? If you're interested in aspiring to the highest within you, we have something very important for you this morning. We look forward to sharing with you. Good morning and welcome to Aspire. We're more than grateful that you chose to be with us. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's an honor to have this time with you, all of you, and those of you in our home audience. We're going to be dealing with something that is difficult. It's difficult not because we don't practice it, but because we're so unaware of it all the time. It's something, believe it or not, that we are engaged in most of our life. All of our life revolves around it, and yet we miss it. We're going to use as our teacher this morning Gibran from The Prophet, the book The Prophet, and we're going to be dealing in one of the most important activities of our life on giving. Giving. We have such a difficult time with the concept of giving. Giving's hard for us. A lot of times guilt is involved in giving. We know we should be giving, but we're not doing it. Or when we do give, there's that reluctance within us. I have a joke in my mind that I think of. If giving were related to sex, we'd be very good at it. If you see a book in the bookstore that says how to have better sex, everybody's running to it. But if you put a book out that said how to give, and give more efficiently or more lovingly or more effectively, most people will pass it by. And yet I tell you that giving is just as important as anything else in your life. We're going to be dealing with the Master's attitudes on giving, and they are beautiful. And for those of us who seek to understand the concept of giving, well, many beautiful things can happen to us. I share this with you in tremendous humility because, to be honest with you, I'm just learning about the real attitude of giving. It's none of the things that I was taught it was to be, and it's none of the things I ever thought it would be. I'd like to first give you a definition of the word giving. What does it mean to give? Webster's offers us some tremendous insight into giving, kind of the energy of it, which is more important, the attitude behind giving. Webster's defines giving as extending ourselves. Yes, extending ourselves. That is, offering ourselves. It is our energy that is going out. Giving goes out and creates an energy or a field around us. And that's how we create our life. It's not something that we say, and giving has nothing to do with what we do. Giving is kind of our energy out. It's the essence of us coming out. And whatever that essence is, life will shape and mold itself around that essence. We create our own life according to how we give of ourselves. Now, there are many ways in which we choose to give. We give at subliminal levels, and at those levels, those subliminal levels of giving, though we are not conscious of it, we are giving. And then there is the conscious way in which we give. And that we are aware of. If I give you a gift and I say, here's a gift, I'm aware I'm giving it to you. But I'm not always aware of the subliminal level, the unconscious way I give. And that's where we build our life. I hear people say to me, I give all the time. I'm always giving. And I never get anything back. And they moan about not getting anything back for their giving. Poor me. I give and I give and I give, and everybody takes from me. But you see, though I may give outwardly, it's how I give inwardly. It's how I exert myself. It's how I extend myself within my being that causes my reaction in life. Giving is an inward act, not an outward one. We must always remember that. I want to give you some teachings on it. And Gibran had some beautiful ones, and I'd like to read them to you. These are masterful teachings. This is in the book, The Prophet, and his teaching goes like this. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. For what are your possessions but things that you keep and guard for fear that you will need them tomorrow? A very valuable point. The things that we give are nothing. The things that I give you physically, the things I give you verbally, our possessions, the things that we give in that way are nothing. The only time we really give is when we give or exert ourselves, and there is love through our giving, compassion through our giving, understanding through our giving. We've all received gifts that were half-heartedly given to us, haven't we? I know I have. Or they were given out of a motive maybe that was not so pure. And we know we take the gift and we go, gee, this is very beautiful and this is very nice, but gee, there's something missing. And yet, a child can give you a gift out of clay or a drawing. I have an 8-year-old at home that made me the most beautiful Father's Day gift. It was just gorgeous. It's a hand painting. And it was given with such love and such compassion and with such earnestness that, well, it beats a diamond ring because it was given out of a sense of purity and out of love. And that's what Gibran is saying. We give little when we give of our possessions. It's when we give of ourselves. Let's look at some attitudes of giving. Again, I would like to go back to Gibran for a moment and his teaching on this. He says to us in the Prophet, there are those who give little of the much which they have, and they give it for recognition, and their hidden desire makes their gift unwholesome. There are those individuals who do have a lot. You know, people who have a lot of possessions are usually owned by their possessions. It's not wrong to have money, and it's not wrong to have nice things. But what is self-destructive in our life is when those things own us. When we are the extent of our possessions. Oh, look at what I have. I'm driving this car, I'm wearing this kind of clothes or this kind of suit. Therefore, it makes me this kind of person. That's when we lose our identity. That's where our possessions and our things begin to own us. And when those type of people, when we have this attitude within us, when we try to give, we give for recognition. We give as a way of possessing. It's a way of buying. It's another acquisition. And our giving really isn't giving anymore. It has motives to it that make our gift unwholesome. Not to the receiver, but to the giver. You see, again, please remember, giving is extending your energy, your ki. It is extending yourself out. And whatever that essence is out there, that is what creates our life. We create our life through how we exert ourselves, how we extend ourselves. Make sure in your giving that it is always out of compassion and love, out of a deep sense of earnestness, that it is a free gift. You are the channel of the gift. You are not the giver, you are the channel of the gift. And that's what makes it a blessing. Let's look at another teaching that Gibran gives to us on this. He says to us, and there are those who have little, but give it all. These are the believers in life and the bounty of life. And their coffers, as Gibran said, are never empty. There are those people who truly do believe. They believe in the abundance of life. They are not afraid to give because they believe, they see the abundance of life. They see the possibilities of God, and their coffers are never empty. They give out of joy because they know within themselves that they are never going to be without. There's a sense of tranquility in their giving. I think a lot of us have the wrong attitude about giving. We think we have to give. We think we should give, and we think we better give. And if we give with those three attitudes within us, we can never give. We've never truly given. If our giving is an obligation, how can we believe? We often think, well, if I give you money, or I give you something, then I have less. The believer in life knows that to give is to receive, to withhold is to perish. So they give joyously. They give out of love. They're excited in their giving. When was the last time you were excited in your giving? Let me read to you another one that Gibran gave to us. Magnificent teaching. There are those who give with joy, and their joy is their reward. There are those who give with joy. They're not looking for anything in return. They're excited about their giving. It is enough to give. Do you remember the moment you had in your life where you had a pure moment of giving, where there was nothing but you and the gift and the person? It was a moment of sharing, a moment of tremendous love. Maybe it was to a child, or when you were little to a friend, or to an adult maybe. And there was nothing but joy in the gift. It was so beautiful. That is giving. Something very mystical and magical happens in that moment. We surrender. There's no more ego involved, and there's no more vanity. One more that the Master gives to us on giving. Another attitude that we can share. Listen to this. And there are those who give with pain, and that pain is their baptism. Sometimes in our giving there is pain. We have a tremendous difficulty sometimes in our giving because we are very, very concerned about how we are giving and to whom. I love what Gibran said. We often say, oh, I would give, but only to the deserving. But the flock in your field do not say that. And the fruit trees in your orchard do not say that. They're there for anyone who needs them. Who is deserving? Who is more deserving than another person? We are all deserving. I've never seen a fruit tree hanging there saying, you can have my fruit and you cannot. Dear friend, all of you, listen to me. Giving is very important. To withhold is to perish. To withhold is to miss the mark of life. It is the Father's good pleasure to give us everything that we need. Nothing has ever been held back from us. It is in our giving that we learn to be very good receivers. To withhold is to perish. Please remember that. So give of yourself. Extend yourself. In everything that you do today, extend your love. Extend your gratitude. Realize the bounty and the unlimited resources that live within you. That is what true giving is. And giving is the courage of the heart. Thank you for being with us. Don't go away. We're going to be right back with some questions and answers on this beautiful subject on giving from Gibran. God bless you. Okay. It is so much fun to be here with these people. I wish you could be here with us. And maybe you are in spirit, and that's the main thing. We're going to have a little question and answer on our discourse on Gibran. We talked about on giving, a very difficult aspect of us. Even though we spend our whole life giving, somehow we miss it, don't we? Let's talk a little bit about giving. Questions on giving. Phyllis.
Greg, what about the motives of giving? So many times we give just out of guilt.
Yeah. A lot of times our motives stink in our giving. And that's why even when we give, nothing happens. I hear one of the basic complaints of students saying to me, I've given and given all my life. That's all I've ever done is give. And they're just so uptight about it. And nothing's ever happened. They become very cynical about it. But what Phyllis has said here is very true. The motive behind it, our giving, has been so bad. I think, if I may say this, the motive behind traditional religions has been bad too. It hasn't been to your salvation. It's been more the guilt. The guilt that there's something very bad with you or something innately wrong with you, and somehow through your giving you're going to better yourself. Let me say this to you, as Gibran said. If you can't give without a motive of love and compassion and understanding, it would be better for you to sit and get that until you can give, because until then the rest has been, well, it's been futile. It hasn't helped you. Let me say this to you, and Try to understand this. Motives in life are everything. Everything. Motives are silent attitudes that go out into the ethers of our life, and they create every experience we have. You can say, you can talk, you can act, you can do in direct opposition to your motives, and still your motives will shine through. Your motives will be the result of everything. As it is said, a tree is no better than the seed. The fruit is no better than the tree. The motive is everything. So clean up your motives. If you think that you can change yourself by first changing your behavior and then changing your inner self, you're wrong. You must first change your inner self and then your outer actions. And you see, this is where, in a way, some psychology and a lot of religion separates. See, a lot of psychology and a lot of religion is based on the idea, if you act right, you'll be right. Not true. But if you work from what is highest within you, your actions will be naturally loving and compassionate, and your giving will be very powerful. Motives are everything in our life. They're everything. Next question. Marianela.
Greg, in giving in a relationship, are we to have no expectations?
Ooh, powerful question. In giving in a relationship, are we to have no expectations? I think a lot of people here would disagree with what I'm about to say. That's okay. I don't think you should have any expectations in relationships. I think you have to let the other person be what they are and learn to accept what they are. And if you can't accept that, if you have a problem with it, then it's time that you do something about it inside yourself. And that might mean a separation or whatever you have to do. But I honestly feel that we, as an expression of unconditional love, need to accept people where they are as they are. You can't expect a frog to be a horse, you know? You can't expect an apple to be a watermelon. People are just what they are. And I honestly feel that sometimes we're doing the very best we can and we can't expect more. Relationship difficulties often arise because the one person doesn't meet the other person's expectations. How unfair. Am I your friend because I expect you to be certain things and do certain things? If so, then I'm manipulating you, aren't I? Did I marry you because I wanted you to be something that you're not, and I'm so shocked that you're not what I wanted you to be? Then it's my problem, isn't it? If I really love you, I'll love you where you are. And if I have a problem with that, then I will see that it's my problem. I don't know if we should be living together for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I don't know. For some people it's not appropriate, and for other people it's a wonderful experience. I know more people who are sweating out their relationships, waiting to die as relief, than living in their relationships. A terrible concept, isn't it? Terrible concept. Can you imagine that our divorce rate's up to 50% now? It's pretty high. It's pretty high. Do you know why women are more or less in the job market today, why they're heading for more careers? It's because they don't know if their relationship with their husband is going to work. So they're earning their own way, which is wonderful, but what a way to go into a relationship. Why can't we go into the job market for a sense of our own individuality? You see, instead of, well, I might need this in case the relationship doesn't work and I need to cop out somewhere. Next question. I hope I answered that. I answered it to my happiness.
Yes, this question may not be apropos to your subject right at this moment.
Give it to me anyway.
But it's something I wanted to ask. Do you think if they had television during the time of Jesus,
Yeah.
what do you think would have happened? Would we have all these different interpretations, different religions and whatnot?
What an interesting question. I think he wouldn't have gotten on the air. I don't think he would have made it on the air. I think Pontius Pilate would have got it, and maybe John the Baptist, but I doubt if Jesus would have made it. They would have called him a heretic. If he did, God only knows. I don't really know. That's a hard question to answer. I don't know if anybody hears what I'm saying, or what any minister says, or what anybody. Do we ever really listen? I don't know. I don't know. That's That's a question I can't answer because I'm not smart enough to. Arnie, you had a question?
Yes, the question, coming back to givingness.
Yes.
Jabon's, and his discussion on givingness, it sounds very lofty and idealistic. But I wonder if, I know how I feel, and I wonder if most of us don't feel a sense of a little more worthiness and a little virtuous because of our giving, that we're doing something over and beyond what is required of us. And now, is this wrong? If it is wrong, should we just continue doing it until we can do it as Gibran says that we should do?
What a wonderful question. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Well, first of all, giving is not an obligation. If you are giving for recognition's sake, as Gibran says, you're not giving. If you're giving because you're trying to get past yourself, you're getting close to it. The major thing is this, to realize, Arnie, that there is no one who is deserving or non-deserving of our gift. Everyone needs our gift. Giving is extending oneself. It is exerting my energy. If you're a bag lady, you deserve as much of my respect as if you are the Queen of England. Doesn't matter your position. If you are a person, a murderer, a thief, you deserve as much of my love as if Buddha or Jesus Christ were standing here. Giving has nothing to do with determining who has done more to warrant my giving. Giving is spontaneous, as God gives. I love what Gibran said. He said, the trees in your orchard do not say who can pick their fruit and who can't. They're there for anyone to come by and pick. And the magnanimous attitude of God, if we are to be expressions of God, to be as perfect as God is perfect, as Jesus said, then we have to give at all levels. Even before Pontius Pilate, Jesus gave compassion and love. He never put Pontius Pilate down. He never said, you're such a nerd for what you're doing. Don't you know what you're doing this to? You're doing it to me, the Son of God, don't you? You know, he gave lovingly. He forgave him. We must always give, but we must always be conscious of our giving and compassionate in our giving. Be aware of your giving. And don't give to the deserving in your mind, how you rationalize it. Give always. Wherever there is a need, be compassionate. Wherever there is a want, be open. Wherever there is a place where you can offer your heart, offer your heart. Amen, huh, brother? Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to give, and thank you for giving to me, and thank you out there. Thank you.